Hey everyone, it's Susan here. Today I'm working on day 3 of this particular monthly kit from By the Well for God, Preaching to the Choir. And day 3 is about trust. And the scripture is Psalm 13:5. But I have trusted in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. So, it talks about, how do you react in certain situations? How strong do you feel maybe your faith is? And are you a witness to God's faithfulness? And am I trusting him in spite of the circumstances? So it's really a good study. And I am working actually in this particular journal, which I've had for a while, and I got it from Growing Meadows on Etsy. And I started this page just because I wanted to practice my flowers. And then I'm like, then I started, reading this, and I'm like, I'm going to incorporate the two. So I've been working on the flowers and coloring and shading and using different products that I have. And for this particular page, I am using my Carb Othello chalk pastel coloring pencils made by Stabilo. This happens to be a 60-piece set, but I did start with a 12 piece, and I loved them. So I ended up getting the bigger set. And so I have one flower to finish, and I want to do that with all of you. The background on this is actually paint it is from Jane Davenport. And all I did was, it's the Bright palette, and I used this color over here. And I just did a quick little, watercolor wash on the page to get some color down. Of course, it's pink, right? So I pulled out these 3 colors for the last flower. I've just been having a lot of fun trying different things. Oh, I see I never even finished the leaves up here, so I have to go do that. But I've been trying a lot of different things just to, have some fun and see how different things react and that kind of thing. So what I have found is that, I definitely, and I always have, enjoyed blending colors together, whether it's with ink or with a paint pen or with different charcoals, anything. I just really enjoy mixing paints together. So I ended up doing the same thing with this. This was the first flower I did, the second one, then I think the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and now this one. So when you work with chalk pastels, it's chalk. You're going to get, there's a lot of chalk. You guys know what chalk is like. So when you put it down, especially on a rougher surface, like this is a little bit rough because it does have the paint on it, and it also has clear gesso. So as I'm putting the colors on with the charcoal, with the chalk pastel pencils, it leaves a little bit of a chalky dust to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and color in. You see, I'm not worried about getting to the edge of any of these particular leaves on the flower. And you'll see, for the most part, all these flowers look different, and that's because I was just, again, testing and, just playing around with different shapes. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with the pink in here, and you can do 2 or 3 colors. I think is pretty good for this type of a project, and you can add as you go along. as you, start blending and everything, you can definitely, add what you would like. Now, this actually comes in the kit, the Carb Othello kit, and it's made for blending your colors. So as I blend this, I'm able to bring the colors to the edge of that particular leaf, so to speak, of the flower. It also is lightening it up, which is great, which is what I want, because I'm looking for a very soft look. Very soft. Now, one thing that I have found, which I know, which makes total sense, is as I get color on this little blender, then, it can certainly, affect the color of other colors that you blend. So what I try to do when I'm, like now I just blended the purple. Now I'm going to go to that medium color, that medium purple. And all I do is take a paper towel, and color does come off on it. So I feel like it somehow cleans it, but it doesn't fully. So it's not like it cleans it, but it gets enough off to where I can use it on the next color. And again, I'm looking for blending, so it's fine with me, that if it changes the color just a little bit. So as I go around, I'm not only blending in the color on that particular leaf or section, but I am also blending with the other color. So you can see up here, I'm going along and I'm going down into the purple, and I'm blending the two colors together. And you can see how pretty that looks, how it really softened it up, and I love it. So now I want to add more to it. I have these are called Paint Over Pens by Jane Davenport. And this is the first page I've used these on. I have several colors, and I am in love with this. So this is the white color on the dark. It kind of gives like a highlight, right? This is the yellow over here on yellow, and this down here is actually the white as well on there. I did a little bit of pink on here and on here, but the colors were too close together, so it didn't really do anything. But I think I'm going to go again with the white because I like the way that it looks. So you can decide, where you want highlights to be. So I tend to just go on the outside, and this works. It's just like a pen. So wherever it touches the page is where it's going to go. So it's not like it's fluid. It doesn't flow around. It stays right where you put it, but it's thin like a pen, and it is opaque. So it stays on top of the color. So again, I'm only using this on the chalk pastels so far. So I'll have to see, what the paint over pen does on other types of media. So I'm just looking here, trying to decide where I'm going to go. And you can do thicker, thinner, you can do neat, you can do messy, whatever you feel like. So I'm just going to go a little bit out here. And what I've also done on these flowers is I've gone back in and I have gone over the black outline of the flower again, if needed, and where needed. And I've been using the Micron 0.5. And this isn't too bad. I have to turn this, sorry. This isn't too bad, but it's really kind of easy to just kind of go over. And if you, kind of make a dark line, go with it and just you know, you can make it a little thicker, and it just gives that much more interest to that particular piece of the flower. All right. So some of them I went over every line, some of them only some lines, depending on where it needed it. I mean, this one does not need a lot, so I'm not going to do a lot. But easy peasy, easy peasy. Okay, so I'm going to call that flower, I think, done. You know what? I want to add a little bit of yellow to it. I'm thinking it needs a little bit of yellow somewhere. So I'm going to come in here just on this bottom and put a little bit of yellow in and around there. And I'm going to blend that out just to get another color. Just another little highlight, right? All right. Oh, I like that. That looks pretty. Now I like it. Beautiful. Okay, so let me check. Okay, so I now am going to work on the leaves. And again, I have to go back and do these leaves. I don't know why I didn't do them, but I didn't. So I have 4 different colors of green here. There's several colors in the kit. And then I just kind of look at the flower, and, you know, some of them I do a little bit lighter, some I do a little bit darker. You can see they're very different because they would be, right? Out in the, oops, that's black. Oh my, I grabbed the wrong one. Oh my, oh, that's cool. We'll have a little bit of black on there. Okay, this is the one I meant to grab. So, yeah, so I'm just gonna do at least 2 colors on here. And what I tend to do, you know, right or wrong, I don't know, but this is how it looks good to me, is I tend to put the darker color on one half of the leaf, and then the other half is a little bit lighter. But in the end, they're going to blend together anyway. It just gives a little bit of different color going on there. Because again, in the, you know, a real leaf of a flower is going to have a lot of, you know, different shades and a lot of, you know, interest going on in it. So again, I'm just blending it around, blending the colors together. Okay, and you hear me, I keep blowing onto the page so it gets all of the chalk off. And what I found with this micron is that, you know, I would imagine that some pens, like maybe a paint pen, the chalk would get on it and could possibly ruin it. But I have to tell you, what I found with this particular micron is it really doesn't do that. But what I have been doing is once I use it, I'll go on to just a little piece of a scrap paper and just make sure it's clean. All right, so that is that flower. So again, you can see here it's Psalm 13:5. I have trusted in your steadfast love. That's the first part of 13:5. And the reason why I have that little triangle on top of the D is because I went to put the lines across the T's and I put it across the D too. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't leave that. So I ended up making a little triangle, trying to cover up my mistake. And then the last few, well, a couple things that I'm going to do. I do know that I want to put either this that comes in the Preaching to the Choir kit or this. So either one is going to end up on top. So I can do this, which of course would just go like that. Or I can do this, which could either go all the way down or part way down. And you know what? I like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab my stapler, my tiny attacher, and go ahead and get that on there. I like that. That's perfect. I'll save this for another page. And then this also came in the Preaching to the Choir kit. And I thought it was so pretty, especially with the colors that I have on here. So I don't know if I can get it on here without, it might be too big. Might be too big. It could go there, but I'm thinking that might be too big. Let me see if there is a smaller one in the kit. It may not be the same color, but let me look. Let me look and see what we have. No, I don't see anything smaller there. But I also have these. It also comes with 3 sheets of stickers. And these seem to be a little bit smaller. Okay, so here's a bird that is definitely smaller in size. I think I'm going to pull that one in and use it on this page. I think that the size of it just makes a lot more sense. I could put both on, actually. So I'm not going to put it near the flower that is pretty much the same color as the bird, because I want the bird to stick out. I think I'm going to put it right here. Or there. Or there. I think I like it. Well, there or there. Oh my gosh, which one should I do? There or there? A or B? I think I'm going to go here. You know why? Because here I feel like it's too much in the middle of the page and it has too much of a vertical line like this. Over here, it's not so centered. Okay, and it just sticks right on. So I like that. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to do to this little flower right here is take this black. Actually, I have to do it to this one too. And all I do is I'm gently going over the stem. And I know I didn't do this one. The stem of the flower. And I'm going to take my blender and I'm just going to blend it to give it that soft, that soft look, like the other ones. So here we go. Just blend them down really quickly. You know, it's almost more about getting the chalk a little bit more set. You know what? I'm deciding I don't like this on here. I don't know. Can I pull it up now? I'm going to go slow. Real slow. I feel like it's taking away from the flowers, and I don't want to do that. Okay. I don't know. I'll have to think about this. I'm not sure I can use a bird on it. I really wanted to, but I don't think I can. Okay, so I think I'm going to call this done. And when you use a chalk pastel, and if I said charcoal during this video, it's not a charcoal, it's a chalk pastel. I'll go and finish these. And then I have a spray, it's called Spectra. And when you spray it on top of a chalk page, it tends to help set it just a little bit. So that is it, and I totally enjoyed doing this, and I actually did it over a few nights. It happens to be daytime right now, but I did this over a few days, and every time I sat down, I did something different, and it was fun, because if I had done it all at once, it would have looked very different. And here's the scripture. And there we go. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and go ahead and click on that little bell, because then every time I post a video, you will get a notification. And please like. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.